Hello and welcome to this episode of Forrest Reviews. In this review, we'll be reviewing the book The Pigman by Paul Zindel. It all started off as a challenge. A simple test. Try to keep someone on the phone talking to you for the most amount of time. And in the 60s and 70s, that wasn't too hard with old analog phones, which you probably suck and called someone. But when Lorraine Jensen tried it, she picked out the name Angelo Pignati. And after the call, she was thrown in the tale of sadness and pain of Mr. Pignati, or as they called him, the Pigman, as she and John. Now she and John Colin, a friend, go to the Pigman's house and try to unravel how he became such a saddled man while dealing with his psychological tricks and his generally funny nature. And I gave this book a rating of 4. What I really liked about this book is that the author had dual narrators, but it was very clear who was narrating. Because with some books I read, they try to do multiple or many narrators, but if narration was terrible. Because sometimes you didn't know who was talking. They might change in the middle, change in a paragraph, after a paragraph who was narrating. It was just narrations all over the place. Kind of like basically meaning of a bunch of guys throwing out their story and someone trying to write it all down. At least they did it in paragraph. This one was not like that. He changed narration during chapters, like this chapter and that chapter, new narrator. Well, not exactly new narrator, but because there was only 2 narrators, both John and Lorraine. It went John, Lorraine, John, Lorraine, John, Lorraine throughout the pattern of the book. And also, he does a good job of kind of hinting at their backstories, like how in the first few chapters, John talks about his mother and how he gave them their names, he calls them. And then, also, while diving into the Pigman's backstory, which I felt like was well made too. A few things to be warned of, though. There is some cursing, but the author kind of hides it, like, with the hashtags, and there is quite a bit of drinking, smoking, which is a part of it. It just didn't really. I'm an anti-smoking person, and it's just I don't really like that. Other than that, I felt like it was a good story, but that's just personal stuff. And if you haven't, hit like and subscribe. And if you don't want spoilers, goodbye. Now it is time for trivia. Today, I've got a bit of a story to tell you. So take a look at this image. And you don't have to memorize it, so you can go back and look at it. But it's going to play a part. So, Mr. Pignati is talking to Lorraine and John and saying, the husband and wife are living on one side of the river. And one day the husband decides he wants to go to town. The wife begs to go with the husband, not because she doesn't want to look disloyal to him. But the husband refuses and says he's going to be back. But the wife decides to cross the river and wait for him. But after a few days, she decides to run across she needs to get back. But there's only 2 ways across the river. One is the bridge with an assassin on it who would kill her. So She tries to cross it, but sees the assassin's going to kill her. But then she runs the other way across the boat. But the boatman refuses to take her across. Says she has to pay him 50 cents. Wife without any money runs to the lover's house, begging the lover to give her 50 cents. The lover refuses, so she runs across the bridge where the assassin stabs her to death. So, Pigman tells Lorraine John to order the people in the tale from most to least guilty, with number 1 being the most, number 5 being the least. So, both Lorraine and John choose the same one for number 1. My question to you is, which one? And also in the comments below, pick your order. Tell me which ones you would order from least to most. And if you haven't, hit like and subscribe. And well, goodbye.